What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to a brand new video. Hopefully you guys are doing good. Haven't made a video in a while. And also I'm sorry, I'm gonna be extra tweakish today because I had coffee, and caffeine is honestly a mistake. Nobody should ever drink it. It's insane that it's one of the most popular drugs in the world, and it is a drug. So I definitely feel very wired, very wired. And I had it because I thought that it was gonna make me productive, but it's doing the complete opposite. I'm at this point where I'm just too wired to even fully be able to concentrate on anything, which really sucks. And my writing is erratic, and overall I feel very erratic right now. And yeah, so I'm making this video. So I apologize if I'm extra jerky or twitchy today. That's how you know. And I probably shouldn't be making this video, but who cares? It's been a while. So how have I been? It's been 15 days since my breakup. It's been more than, or has it been 15 days? I don't know. The last time I checked my YouTube channel, I uploaded my video on 14 days ago, 2 weeks ago. So it's definitely been over 2 weeks since my breakup. And I just want to talk about where I am at mentally and emotionally and all of that sort of stuff. So I feel good. There are still rough days, which I'll get into in a little bit. There are still rough days, but overall I feel good. I don't feel at this present moment, knock on wood, I don't feel lonely. I don't feel particularly lonely, even though I don't really talk to people that often. So that's pretty good, and I don't really feel her absence that much. So I've been feeling reasonably good. But obviously I'm afraid that upon making this video I'll jinx myself again, and tonight I'll just feel like shit. Also, I got a new phone. I got an iPhone 16 Pro. It was time to upgrade. I'm on this back to return program, which means that I basically lease a phone for 2 years, and then I have to give it back in the same condition, and then I get a new phone, which means that I don't actually own this phone. I'm borrowing it for 2 years, but yeah, hopefully the quality is a little bit better. Maybe my microphone is a little bit better. Hopefully something is a little bit better, because goddamn, the changes this year are so minute and non-existent that it's crazy. But yeah, it feels like a fresher phone. It feels good. Anyways, I digress. So what have I been doing this last week, I would say. So I came to terms with the relationship ending, and I came mostly to terms with the fact that we're never gonna be back together. That chapter is done. That chapter is completed. But there's still a part of me that is still holding on to that. The thing is, I don't want to get back. I don't want to get back together. I don't want to fall into the same routines, into the same cycles. There's a lot of elements that I quite like about being single. One major element is the freedom. is the freedom. To put bluntly, the freedom is fucking phenomenal. I went to a rave the other day, like 2 days ago, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But just the freedom of not having to text someone every goddamn hour. Not to say that those were rules that were like enforced or anything, but just like because when you're going out with someone, when you're dating someone, you want to keep them updated. You want to make sure that you want to make sure that they're safe. You want to make sure that you're safe. You want to make sure that you convey that you're safe as well, because they'll be asking. Um, and I didn't have to text. I didn't feel the need to text her once. Okay, once at all, which is already progress. Um, and just in general, like, yeah, I have to go. Like, I can go to a rave. I can talk to girls. I can talk to whoever the hell I want, and not have to worry about like having a partner. And that's not to say that when I'm in a relationship, I'm thinking of cheating or anything like that, or, you know, actually, in within my entire relationship, within the entire length of my relationship, I've never felt that like, oh, I want to be with someone else. Not once, not a singular time. I feel like I was quite committed. Um, but that can also, but that can also affect you. That can also pigeonhole you into one kind of person, into one person, for an extended period of time, which sucks because in the process of growing as a person, like we're literally, well, I'm in my 20s, like, she is too. Like I'm 21 years old, um and I'll be going through so many changes in the next year. I've already felt that I've been going through so many changes since the relationship ended, and it hasn't even been like a month. Like, it hasn't even been a fucking month. Um so like I've kind of gotten the perspective that it's actually kind of insane to have this expectation at such an early age that any relationship that you're gonna get into in your early 20s, it is gonna be for life. Like 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 if you really think about it, that's actually kind of psychotic to think. That's kind of fucking psychotic to think. You know, and I'm sure there exists examples where it's like couples get together when they're 19 years old, and they grow together, and they become better people together. And that was the case. And that was the case to an extent with my relationship. But ultimately, I genuinely feel like it was holding me back in a lot of ways. It was holding me back from meeting new people. It was holding me back from, yeah, meeting new people, forming new connections. It was definitely holding me back from things like doing my own stuff, working on my own shit, on my own projects, you know, on my own assignments, on my app. Um, I do a bit of writing. I do a bit of writing now. Wait one second. Yeah, sorry about that. Uh, so so like I'm like hard focused on working on my own projects, on my own writing. I read a shit ton now. I'm currently reading I'm currently reading Infinite Jest by David Foster Wallace, and it's just incredible. Like, it's an incredible piece of literature that I've never like like Infinite Jest, I legitimately can't equate to anything else ever I've ever read. It's not a particularly demanding book, like in terms of its vocabulary and 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 stuff like that, but it is a very demanding book in the in the in the amount that it demands your attention, your absolute complete attention, or else you'll miss some subtleties that apparently are going to be very important down the line. Oof, I'm really tweaking now. Goddamn. Um, but yeah, but yeah, I feel like the relationship held me back in a lot of ways in pursuing those like the other those like other interests and those other people and connections and stuff like that. Because there was just I felt like there was this inherent there was this inherent expectation to like hang out every single day, to like be com- be committed to this one thing and one thing alone, and that was like the one thing that was permeating my mind, and that really sucks. That really sucks, especially because I'm someone that like I don't view star signs as like the objective truth. Um, I think there's some validity to like astrology, even though mostly it's like spiritual, or all of it is like spiritual and like not real. But you know, I'm a fucking Gemini, so I feel like as a Gemini, people say Gemini is very like air sign. The, anyone watching this video is already fucking checked out, but like Gemini is already like a very air sign, like a lot of interest, a lot of passion, and it's just unnatural. I feel like for me, especially at this stage in my life, to be dedicated to one thing, to be dedicated to one person. Like I want to experience fucking everything, you know? And I mean that literal, and I mean that in a literal sense and a figurative sense as well, like fucking everything, you know? Like I went to a rave the other day, you know? I didn't do any fucking, but I went to a rave, and I've never been to an event like that. And I know in the previous rave video that I made, that was like I thought that was a rave. That wasn't a rave. That was just like a club, a get together. This was like an actual huge ass rave with like over 1,000 people. Like I talked to this one guy, and he's like, "Yeah, this is the biggest rave I've ever been to," and I go to a lot of raves, and this one was like easily over 1,000 people. The main part of the area was so fucking filled with people that like you had to like push your way through people. You know, there were like personal space was just out the window completely. It was so like out of like what I was used to, that it honestly makes me really happy that I went to a place like that, you know, ab- even though it was absolutely draining, and the entire day after I was just sore everywhere from dancing so much, and I was just so like emotionally and like mentally drained, but like in the best way possible. Um so I mean like experiences like that. Like I feel like if I was still in the relationship, I wouldn't like of course I would still want to go to a rave. I've been wanting to go to a rave or a club for a while, but I feel like I feel like I never really had the freedom to. And once again, that's not to say that like my partner was like super restrictive and things like that, but just like I guess I had the status quo in my head that like, well, I had this thing in my head that I had to like appease to the status quo of being in a relationship, which means being accessible all the time, which means being available all the time, available to hang out, available, for her to vent and stuff. Like I had this expectation of myself in my head of how the relationship needs to be, of how I need to operate within the relationship, which is low key, like, now that I think about it, is very, very toxic. It's like, and I'm sorry I'm like speaking in slow motion now. I just want to, like, you know, I just want to make it like as clear as possible to myself and to anyone that may like stumble upon this video and is watching all the way through. But like that is such a toxic mentality to be in, and that is such a covertly toxic mentality to be in. And like it's covert because you don't even understand that it's happening. You don't even fully you're not even fully conscious that it's happening in the moment until you actually remove yourself from the situation, from the relationship, and you realize that, oh shit, this is actually toxic as fuck. This is actually super super fucking unhealthy. Like how did I ever endure so many months of this shit, where it's just like being constantly on all the time, being constantly available, and just like, I don't know, it's tiring. Like I'm at the point where people are texting me now, like people that I meet online and stuff, and like I don't even like have the energy to respond immediately. I'm just like, ugh, like I don't want to engage. I don't want to engage in the moment, which might make me seem like I'm selfish or anything, but I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna be selfish. I'm gonna be selfish. Like, like one thing I realized is that like is that like you're alone. Is that like you're alone. Um, you're always gonna be alone, and I don't mean that in like a depressing sort of way. Of course they're always gonna have people by your side, but like ultimately you are alone. You are someone you are the only one that has to exist within your body, within your mind, within your soul. You are the one that like has to exist with all of these like mental illnesses and insecurities. You are the one that has to like battle them, you know no one else can, no matter how much they might want to. No one else can do the work that you have to do, you know so and ultimately you're born by yourself and you die by yourself as well, but that is more of like an external thing. What I mean by you're always alone is that it's a very internal thing in the ways that I described. Um, and I don't know where I was going with this. I forgot. See, this is the type of shit that coffee makes me do. Is it just makes me so fucking erratic. I don't know why I drink it. But yeah. So you're alone, and having this dependence on other people, this like obsessive, borderline psychotic dependence on people, is what gets you hurt. I feel like, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't be like dependent on anyone. You should be, sigma male. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that like have some self-reliance. Have some, you know like Ralph Waldo Emerson pointed out in his essay about reliance, that like God gave you this piece of soil to like toil, to like grow into something. And like and like no one else can do it for you. That is your piece of soil. That is your plot that you have to work on, you know? And I feel like in this present moment, I'm establishing all the seeds necessary for this piece of soil to grow into a beautiful garden. And like that is what I'm aiming to do. That is my goal in like all of this, is to just make this piece of like barren soil into a beautiful garden. At this present moment, like a couple flowers have sprouted up, a couple buds, you know, and honestly, like I'm really excited for the things to come, you know. Like I got a new phone, I got a new refresh, you know. I moved my room a lot. I'm doing things that are outside of my comfort zone. Um, Obviously not like, consistently, not every day, because not every day do I have the capacity to do so. Like I feel like after like going to this rave, I feel like I need a few days to like recharge before I dive back into doing the things outside of my comfort zone. Like just for a little bit, you know. But like yeah. I'm not gonna go too into depth about this rave because there are so many things that happened. Maybe in another video. And a lot of things I barely remember myself. Not that I took any drugs, or I didn't even drink. Like I just had water all the way through. But the whole night was so long that so it started for me at like 10, no, at like 11, and I was there all the way until 5 in the morning, which is insane. Which is insane. Like I've never stayed up for something that long. And my parents were like weirdly like very cool about it. Like they didn't give me any shit about it. Um and they kind of joked about it, like my mom was originally like super strict, and she like joked about it. She was like, "Yeah, so did you have a good time and everything?" And like, yeah, honestly, I did. Like the music was sick. The first DJ kind of sucked. The opener, he kind of like played the same like boom, 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 boom shit. Um, just the same boring ass like techno music, techno club bops. You know, like they weren't even bops. But the second guy, like the main headliner, I Hate Models, he was fucking insane. He was so insane to the point where in the moments where I had to like rest, where I had to like sit down on the side and stuff, and like go outside to like get some fresh air for once, because it was like very stale. Like the air was very stale. There was over 1,000 people there. It was so hot, and like in those moments, I was like, "Fuck, I'm missing the set. Like I wish I had more. I wish I had more endurance. I wish I had more stamina to like keep dancing and keep vibing, but I literally can't in certain moments." And yeah, it was just like a great time. Um, I met like I think I talked to more people than I ever did. Um, like in a singular day. I think I talked to more people IRL than I ever did in my entire freaking life, which is insane. Um, and I'm definitely gonna go to more events like this because it just seems like such a great place to meet people, to meet like-minded people. Like I really fuck with techno music too, you know. Like I love that shit, you know, and like jungle and drum and bass and everything like that. And it's so awesome. And I love dancing. And like everyone in there loves dancing. Like I met this one guy. I actually got his Instagram, and he was fucking killing it. You know, he was like more towards the back. just like me. But he was fucking killing it. He was shuffling. He was doing like all these crazy dance moves. Um, and he was the one that came up to me and he was like, "Yo, bro, I really like your vibe." I was um I was rocking like a black tank top and like this like very and like a silver necklace and like my silver watch, and I was just like, you know and baggy jeans, and I was just like feeling myself super hard. And this guy was just like, "Yo, I really fuck with your vibe," and I managed to like get, and he gave me his Instagram, like we followed each other, and yeah, I think I just literally made a friend. Also, one time, sorry, I had to turn on my fan. It was getting so fucking hot. But yeah, like I think I actually just made a fucking friend, you know, and like I met this other guy who was there with his girlfriend, and his girlfriend was like passing out, like she was like going through it, and I kind of sat with this guy, and this guy, and I got to know like that this guy was doing his masters for this master's program for I think it was like physiotherapy or physical therapy, and in London, in the UK, bruv. And he was doing that for 2 years, and during those 2 years he was going to all sorts of like raves and events, and he was listing me like all of these artists that I've never even like heard of, and all that shit. And and like and like I I met this like after meeting the first guy, we were like dancing together. We were dancing like side by side. Um, and this this woman came up to us, and she honestly looked like one of my friend's moms. Like she had that like mom energy, and she was with this guy who was like, wait, she was like, "Oh, I'm from Mexico." She had like a very Spanish like accent, and I'm here with like my boyfriend, and he's like 27, and then she was like looking at us, and and she was like, "Oh, look at him. Does he look 27?" And it was just like good times, dude. It was such good times, and it was such like it's so eye opening to like see that, okay, other people like in the world like actually exist. It's not just like the people in my classes and the people living in my house and people in my neighborhood. Like other people in the world actually exist, and they have a life. They have their own super unique experiences and all of that. Like for example, the guy that I met, the one that we follow each other on Instagram. Like I looked at his account, and he has like so many like crazy crazy art pieces that he made, you know. And honestly, I'm thinking about like getting a commission for like an art piece, because like he's super talented. He's super skilled, you know. And he's only like 22 years old, and like just like super duper insane, you know, insane people, but in the best way possible. Like there was this guy that I literally that had like a bunny suit, like a alt, emo bunny suit. Um, if you can imagine what that looks like. I wish I took a picture of this guy, cause like it was insane. And like I complimented his outfit, and he was like, "Bro, thank you so much. That means a lot." And like everyone was so fucking nice. everyone was so nice. Even the security was looking out for me. Like there was this one guy that was like, yo bro, are you good? You know, are you good and everything? And like when I was leaving, the same security guy was like, yo bro, get home safe. Do you have like an Uber? Like, are you gonna get like an Uber and stuff? And I was like, yeah, you know, um, and he was just like really nice. He was like, yo bro, like get home safe, like please, like please. And like it was like such fucking good times. And like in the moment I was like a bit caught off guard by this guy because there's a I feel like I thought there was a reason why he was so concerned for me, because I was like, you know, like like I was doing what I do, and that isn't like entirely normal. Um, but no, I think he was just like a genuinely like really nice guy, and like yeah, it was definitely like a vibe, and I definitely wanna go to an event like that again, like soon. Um, Maybe next month for sure. Um, and I forgot to mention the guy that I met, like he was dancing so fucking well, and he was like going like 110% effort each fucking time. And and when I initially shook his hand, when he was like, "Yo, I really like your vibe," and I was like dabbing him up and shit, his whole hand was like soaked with like sweat, and I was like, even though it's kind of disgusting, I was like, you know what, I respect that, because he was like giving like 150% like dancing. He wasn't just like bobbing his head and moving around very slightly. No, he was going fucking off. He was like shuffling. He was like doing all sorts of shit, you know, and he was doing that all night. He was doing that all fucking night, you know, with like a smoke break in between. So, just like really good vibes, and really nice people. Um, there was a part where there was a part towards the end where I was really missing my ex, like really, like generally, like missing my ex so fucking much, because in the past we've talked about like going to raves, not to raves, but like going to clubs and like dressing up as a couple, like really nice. Um, and there was like a few girls that generally looked like her. Um, not like in terms of like face and like specific physical features, but just like overall vibes. But like, but like, just like there's like a few outfits that the girls had that I generally saw like my ex would wear, type shit. And that made me feel a little bit melancholic in certain moments, because yeah, we just like talked about that shit a lot. But honestly, like, to tell you the truth, like I'm kind of glad that I went there single, even though like there were so many couples there. There were so many like girlfriends with their boyfriends and with their friends and stuff like that. Like people don't normally go to raves by themselves. Like even the people that I've talked to that were like, oh, are you here with any friends? And I was like, nah, man, I'm here by myself. They were like, damn, you know. So like people don't normally go to raves by themselves, but hey, honestly, honestly, I feel like if I did go in there with my partner, knowing the insecure fucking possessive ass that I am, I would have been like that would have actually like taken me out of the moment, because I would be constantly worried about other guys looking at my girl, making moves on my girl. I would have been fucking defending that shit, and I wouldn't be able to like be in the moment, be present in the moment, you know. and I feel like it would have sucked, even though like when the night ended and like everyone was going home, like it reminded me of my the first date that I had with my ex, which was actually a fucking a slow dive concert. Like both of us really loved slow dive. Uh, and it's funny because I can't listen to them at all anymore. Maybe at one point I will, but maybe at one point I could. Um, but yeah, I just remember like at the end of the night when the concert ended, like we both got into an Uber together, you know, and we went to our Airbnb together, and it was so cozy, and we cuddled, and like all that shit, and like I was missing that a lot that night, because I went home by myself, you know, I went into bed by myself, you know, I was like shit, what would be really nice would be a cuddle or something like that, or some sort of comfort, you know. Um, and it made me sad, you know, it made me sad, but yeah, but that's just like a minor thing that I haven't even thought about in like days. Um, and yeah, it just overall good time. Overall, really good time. Definitely gonna do that again. I'm not sure if next time I'm gonna stay all the way until the end, because like towards the end, like like all of my body was hurting. My abs were hurting. My legs were hurting like crazy. My feet were hurting like crazy. I've never had muscles hurt like that before, so much. Not even after like an intensive workout. Like they were hurting for like 2 days after. Like it was crazy. Um, like and towards the end of the night, all I wanted was to be in bed, be cozy, you know. But yeah, it was really good times, and yeah, overall, you know, just like learning about new people, learning about other people's like experiences and stuff like that, and realizing that my ex partner, isn't the only person in the world, really helped. Um, just really helped like solidify everything. You know, it was awesome. It was awesome, and yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, she did text me like at 6 in the morning, probably when she was getting ready for work. Like, am I safe? Like, are you safe? Are you safe? And I was like, yeah, I'm safe. You know, but I'm feeling kind of emotional. Blah, 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 blah. And she was like, did you have fun? And I was like, yeah, I had fun. And like, yeah, you know, overall, my attachment to her is like way less. It's pretty much gone. Um, so yeah, good times. Anyways, I'm gonna end it because damn, 38 minutes. Goddamn. Anyways, peace.